Yeah. So in the last lecture, we have seen types of spectrum, and in the spectrum, we have two different types of spectrum: absorption spectrum and emission spectrum. In emission spectrum, you again have two different types: continuous emission spectrum and discontinuous emission spectrum. Continuous and discontinuous का मतलब यही है. In continuous, you have all the wavelengths. There will be continuity in the wavelengths. In discontinuous, there will be gaps in between two wavelengths. Absorption spectrum जो है, it is of only one type. You can have only discontinuous absorption spectrum. Continuous emission spectrum में क्या हुआ? If you are taking white light and if you are passing that particular white light through the prism, that white light will be divided into 7 different components, and all the components ये जो है red color के different wavelengths variation होके it will be fading into yellow, orange fades into yellow fades into green into blue into indigo, and indigo into white. Sorry, indigo into violet. So all these wavelengths are continuous. You don't have any discontinuity. Hence, this particular spectrum, which is obtained by emission of the radiation by the source, okay, it is called as continuous emission spectrum. Discontinuous emission spectrum में क्या हुआ? First, you are taking a gas, you are heating that particular gas. Whenever the gas is heated, it is now a heated object, so it will be a source of electromagnetic radiation. So if I am catching that particular radiation onto a prism, I am getting a spectrum something like this. You are having only some distinct photons और some distinct wavelengths. A wavelength आया, बीच में जो भी wavelength है कुछ भी नहीं है, उसके बाद ये वाला wavelength दिखा, उसके बाद ये वाला wavelength दिखा, so on so forth. So you are having some lines. Okay, you are not having this bands. You are having some lines. Hence, the spectrum is also called as line spectrum, and it is discontinuous. यहाँ पे कलर दिखा, यहाँ पे ब्लैक है, फिर से कलर दिखा, फिर से ब्लैक है, कलर दिखा, ब्लैक है. These colors are nothing but the photons. इसका मतलब मैं ये बोल सकता हूँ, only those photons are being emitted according to their levels. You don't have continuous levels inside an atom. If you have continuous levels inside an atom, all the photons of different wavelengths must be emitted out. तब क्या होना चाहिए? एक continuous band जैसा दिखना चाहिए. वैसा नहीं दिख रहा है. इसका मतलब electrons are jumping from one orbit to another orbit. Okay, बीच में कुछ orbits ही नहीं है. Whenever they are jumping, wavelength corresponding to that particular photon is emitted. Okay. So this particular observation is leading us to the conclusion that the orbits inside the atom are not continuous, but they are discontinuous. Similarly, ये observation भी, if you are passing the light through the gas, only certain photons are absorbed by the gas. जो भी photons इधर absorb हो चुका है, वो यहाँ पे नहीं मिला, यहाँ पे black color spot जैसा मिल गया. ऐसा black color spot क्यों मिला? क्योंकि ये जो photons है, they were absorbed by the gas. Okay, so all these photons which are absorbed by the gas are missed from this otherwise continuous spectrum. यही चीजें ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं क्योंकि यही ऑर्बिट्स पर प्रेजेंट है. उसके अंदर जो ऑर्बिट्स अवेलेबल होगा, उस ऑर्बिट पे जाने के लिए जो फोटोन लगेगा उसको वही ऑब्जर्व करेगा. ओके, इसके इमीडिएट नेक्स्ट ऑर्बिट है ही नहीं, सो इसलिए इसका इमीडिएट नेक्स्ट वेवलेंथ ऑब्जर्व भी नहीं करेगा. इसका इमीडिएट नहीं है, सो इधर से इधर तक जो भी photons है उनके corresponding orbits नहीं है, so hence they are not absorbing those particular photons. Okay, so only those photons will be absorbed जिनके लिए corresponding orbit इधर रहना चाहिए. absorb करने से उस वाला orbit पे जाएंगे वो. so ये जो observations है, इन observations से मैं एक ही चीज conclude कर रहा हूँ: the orbits around the nucleus are discontinuous. so this particular point was taken by Bohr. Okay, Bohr ने अपना theory में उसने यही कहा: the orbits of the electron revolves around the nucleus in certain specific orbits. Okay, and उस particular specific orbits में what is the rule? The momentum must be quantized. Only those orbits are possible where you have angular momentum as integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. और mvr is equals to nh upon 2 pi. ओके, कुछ साइंटिस्ट ने हाइड्रोजन के साथ जब ये एक्सपेरिमेंट किया, ये वाला ऑब्जर्वेशन किया, ये जो wavelengths आया है, all these wavelengths they calculated those values and they formed a formula, empirical formula in order to fit those particular wavelengths. इसका कुछ तो values रहेंगे ना, इन सारे photons का wavelengths का कुछ तो values रहेगा, उन values को fit करने के लिए एक formula दिया है which is called as Rydberg-Balmer equation, which is 1 by lambda, where lambda is the wavelength of that particular photon. 1 by lambda is equals to r into 1 by 2 square minus 1 by n square, where n is different number greater than 2. n equals to 3 put किया तो n equals to 3 put किया तो एक wavelength आएगा, n equals to 4 put किया तो दूसरा, n equals to 5 put किया तो तीसरा, so on so forth. जो भी waves दिखेगा आप लोग को सारे के लिए different values of n put करते जाओ, you will be getting different wavelengths. Okay, this is obtained experimentally by observation of those particular wavelengths and उसके बाद कुछ mathematical relation उन लोग ने fit किया. Okay, ये वाला क्यों important है देखेंगे. अभी Bohr's theory में the postulates of Bohr's theory are, first of all, the Bohr's theory is applicable only to single electron species. हाइड्रोजन लाइक स्पीशीज के लिए ही applicable है. मतलब हीलियम के ऊपर Bohr's theory लगाना है तो you need to remove one electron. After removal of one electron, you need to apply Bohr's theory. क्योंकि हीलियम में 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है, एक ही इलेक्ट्रॉन रहने के लिए you need to remove one electron. Hence, Bohr's theory is applicable for helium positive, but not helium. Similarly, lithium में you have 3 electrons. अप्लाई करने के लिए एक ही इलेक्ट्रॉन चाहिए, so you need to remove 2 electrons. So lithium 2 positive पे अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. Similarly, beryllium 3 positive के ऊपर अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. Okay, ठीक है. What are his postulates? An electron revolves around the nucleus only in certain orbits or specific orbits. All the orbits are not present around the nucleus. There are only some certain orbits present. So उन्हीं orbits में electron revolve करेगा. दूसरा point है, as long as the electron is in its own orbit, खुद के orbit में रहा तो कभी वो energy radiate नहीं करेगा. If I am doing excitation, तब ऊपर जाने के वजह से it will be releasing energy and it will be coming back to its original position. क्योंकि जितना पास में रहेगा उतना stability मिलेगा इलेक्ट्रॉन को. Okay, these shells are also called as stationary shells because the energies of all the orbits are constant. एक specific values है. Okay, उसके बाद हमने ये डिस्कस किया, एक जो इलेक्ट्रॉन है it is revolving around the nucleus because of the centripetal force. That centripetal force is provided by Coulomb's force of attraction. And ये attractive force कैसे generate हुआ? Because of the interaction among the unlike charges. Nucleus is positively charged and the electron is negatively charged. उन दोनों के बीच में interaction होने के वजह से एक centripetal force which is acting inwards got developed. So whenever the electron is revolving in circular motion, there is another force associated with it which acts outwards. That is called as centrifugal force. Both these forces must exactly balance or they are balancing each other. Hence, the electron is staying in its own orbit or the planets are revolving in only those specific orbits. Okay. ठीक है. So centrifugal force is given by formula mv square upon r, where m is the mass of the electron, v is the velocity of the electron in that orbit, r is the radius of that particular orbit. उसके बाद हम de-excitation और excitation करके कुछ देखा. If you are incidenting some energy on the electron and if the energy is sufficient for the transition, मतलब इधर से इधर तक आने के लिए एनर्जी जितना चाहिए उतना ही प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, बीच में कुछ ऑर्बिट्स नहीं है. ओके, सो बीच वाले एनर्जीज कुछ प्रोवाइड किया तो कभी एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगा इलेक्ट्रॉन. सो इफ यू आर इंसिडेंटिंग ए पैकेट ऑफ सफिशिएंट एनर्जी, इट विल बी गोइंग इनटू हायर ऑर्बिट. वो वहीं पे ही नहीं रह जाएगा फॉरएवर, बिकॉज if it is present close to the nucleus, it will be having more and more stability. So in order to come close to the nucleus, it will emit back the radiation which it has absorbed and it will be coming back to its original position. Okay, that is called as de-excitation. So excitation and de-excitation involves absorption and emission of the photon, because energy is absorbed or emitted in the form of photons, in the form of packets. Okay, last and most important point is the angular momentum of the electron around the nucleus is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. Integral matlab integer multiples of h upon 2 pi. In first orbit, it will be 1h upon 2 pi. In second orbit, it is 2h upon 2 pi. In third orbit, 3h upon 2 pi, so on and so forth. Okay. or else I can say the angular momentum is quantized. Angular momentum is, सभी लोग है ना? Yeah. The angular momentum is quantized. There is some restriction on the angular momentum. You cannot have any value of it. You can have only specific values, whose values are 1h upon 2 pi, 2h upon 2 pi, 3h upon 2 pi, so on so forth. Because of the restriction in the angular momentum, you are having the restriction in the orbits. There, in दोनों के बीच में there are orbits where the angular momentum will be between h upon 2 pi and 2h upon 2 pi. इसलिए वो सारा orbits exist नहीं हो रहे. Similarly, इन दोनों के बीच में भी there will be infinite orbits. इन दोनों के बीच में भी there will be infinite orbits. All these orbits are not permissible. Or there is some restriction on the orbits, and because of the restriction on angular momentum. Okay. इस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट जो है mvr equal to nh upon 2 pi, बोर ने इसके लिए कुछ रीजनिंग नहीं दिया कहाँ से आया वो mvr equal to nh upon 2 pi, but this particular assumption is absolutely true, which we will be deriving that later. After another theory, we will derive this mvr equal to nh upon 2 pi.
Sir,
yeah.
Sir, please can you explain once angular momentum what it is?
Angular momentum मतलब क्या है? First of all वो समझो. Linear momentum किस वजह से आता है? Because of the linear motion of the particle. Because of the straight line motion, linear motion of the particle, you will get linear momentum. Now the electron is revolving around the nucleus. Okay, it is having rotatory motion. So whenever you have angular motion, the momentum which you are associated with it, which you are associating with it, is angular momentum. And the angular momentum has a formula: mass into velocity into radius of that particular orbit, mvr. That angular momentum value according to Bohr must be nh upon 2 pi, where n is the orbit number. In first orbit it will be 1h upon 2 pi, in second orbit it is 2h upon 2 pi, in nth orbit it must be nh upon 2 pi. ये h upon 2 pi 2h upon 2 pi के बीच में infinite values रह सकता है, like 0.5 h upon 2 pi, 0.75 h upon 2 pi, ऐसा बहुत कुछ values रह सकता है. All those values doesn't exist according to Bohr. Okay.
Sir, quantized means?
Quantized मतलब कुछ quantities में बढ़ता जा रहा है. Okay.
Yes sir, yes. h upon 2 pi to h upon.
हाँ, वो quantity में बढ़ता जा रहा है. h upon 2 pi multiple में बढ़ता जा रहा है.
Yes sir, yes.
Okay. ठीक है. Then we have seen the mathematical modeling of Bohr's theory. मतलब जो भी स्टार्टिंग में पॉइंट्स पढ़ा, सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स इज इक्वल टू सेंट्रीपेटल फोर्स, उन दोनों को इक्वेट करने से एक इक्वेशन आया हमें. We need to know the charge of the electron as E and the charge of the nucleus. If the atomic number is Z, Z times E will be the charge of the nucleus. इन दोनों के पॉजिटिव साइन नेगेटिव साइन रहेगा, but we are interested only in the magnitude. So if I am substituting those values, you got k E into Z E upon R square is equal to mv square upon R. दूसरा इक्वेशन है angular momentum quantization का, mvr equals to nh upon 2 pi. In both the equations, the unknowns are velocity as well as radius. You have two equations and two unknowns, so you can solve for velocity and you can solve for radius. वो solve किया तो हमको velocity आया है 2 pi k Z E square upon nh, and radius आया है n square h square upon 4 pi square Z n e square k. Velocity को further observe किया तो इस particular expression में 2 pi k e square and h are always constants. उनका values तो same ही रहेगा, but z value may differ if I am changing the atom, changing the element, and n value may differ if I am changing the orbit. Okay, so उन दोनों को separately लिया तो we can write v is equals to 2 pi k e square upon h times z upon n. ये कांस्टेंट हो गया तो कांस्टेंट रिमूव कर रहे तो I have to use proportionality. So Vn is proportional to Z upon n. Suppose दो different atoms में कंपेयर करेंगे, एक हाइड्रोजन एटम में, एक हीलियम एटम में, for the first orbit. V is proportional to Z ना, so जितना ज्यादा Z होगा velocity उतना ज्यादा रहेगा. So हाइड्रोजन के अंदर जो इलेक्ट्रॉन है फर्स्ट ऑर्बिट में, हीलियम के अंदर जो इलेक्ट्रॉन है फर्स्ट ऑर्बिट में, the electron in helium atom, the electron in helium positive, in fact, the electron in helium positive will be rotating at a higher speed than the electron in hydrogen atom. ये समझ में आया आप लोग को? ये proportionality को कैसे एनालाइज करना है? the velocity is proportional to z upon n, where z is the atomic number, n is the orbit number. Similarly, radius जो है, I can again write this as some constant into n square upon z. If the orbit number is changing, the n will be changing. If the element itself is changing, the z will be changing. Okay. ठीक है. So Rn is proportional to n square upon z. यह obvious भी है, as the radius, as the orbit number is increasing, the radius must increase. But it is not exactly increasing proportionally. It is not proportional to n. It is proportional to n square. So दो ऑर्बिट्स के बीच में जो डिस्टेंस है वो यूनिफॉर्म नहीं रहेगा और डिफरेंट रहेगा. If it is proportional to n, then it will be uniform. एक ऑर्बिट दूसरा ऑर्बिट के बीच में जो डिस्टेंस है, वैसे दूसरा एंड तीसरा ऑर्बिट के बीच में भी डिस्टेंस सेम रहेगा. If it is simply proportional to n. ओके, ठीक है. अभी देखते हैं. अभी हमारे पास Vn का एक्सप्रेशन क्या है? The expression for Vn is 2 pi k z e square upon nh, where k is called as Coulomb's constant, whose value is 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. E is the charge of the electron. ये हमको already पता है उसका, -1.6 into 10 raised to -19. But we are interested only in the magnitude, hence I am substituting plus 1.6 into 10 raised to -19 Coulomb. H का वैल्यू क्या है? 6.626 into 10 raised to -34 joule second. If you are substituting all these values, you will get Vn as, सारा substitute कर लो, k substitute the value of k, substitute the value of h, substitute the value of e pi 2. सब substitute करने के बाद you will get the answer as 2.18 into 10 power 6 meter per second, और कभी-कभी इसी को 2.165 भी देते हैं. 2.165 into 10 power 6 meter per second times z upon n. Your wish, you can use 2.18 or 2.165, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा आंसर में ज्यादा. ओके, ठीक है. I will give you a question. Please mark the answer for that question. The velocity of the electron in the fourth orbit of helium positive is some x meter per second. x दिया है. Find the velocity in third orbit of electron in Li2 positive. Find the velocity in third orbit of electron in Li2 positive ion. You need to tell me the answer in terms of x. न्यू बैच के लिए भी टेस्ट रह सकता है. आफ्टर डिस्कसिंग सम वर्कशीट वी विल डिसाइड न्यू बैच के लिए रखना है कि नहीं. न्यू बैच के लिए अगर इन केस इस वीक में नहीं हुआ तो नेक्स्ट वीक में हो जाएगा, नेक्स्ट संडे को. ओल्ड बैच को नेक्स्ट संडे को कुछ टेस्ट नहीं रहेगा, बट न्यू बैच को नेक्स्ट संडे टेस्ट होगा तब. Everyone is saying 2x, 2x. 2x. Okay, most people are saying it as 2x. आप लोग को इतना ही फॉलो करना है एवरीवन, प्लीज, जिनको नहीं आ रहा है कैसे करना है. Vn, velocity in any orbit, is proportional to z upon n. So इससे हम क्या कंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, Vn1 upon Vn2 equals to z1 upon n1 divided by z2 upon n2. Okay, or Vn1 upon Vn2 equals to z1 upon n1 into n2 upon z2. मान लेते हैं हीलियम पॉजिटिव में हमको n1 जो है इट इज गिवन एज 4th ऑर्बिट. n1 जो है इट इज गिवन एज 4th ऑर्बिट एंड उसमें वेलोसिटी Vn1, let us take that as x. Now you need to calculate the velocity in Li2 positive and उसमें orbit क्या है, the orbit is 3rd orbit and so you need to find Vn2 in that particular orbit. Okay, substitute कर लेना, Vn1 which is x upon Vn2 वही find करना है हमको, must be equal to z1. हीलियम के लिए z कितना है 2, लिथियम के लिए z कितना है 3. ओके, z1 is 2 upon n1 is 4 into z1 upon n1 into n2 upon z2. n2 is 3, z2 is again 3. लिथियम 3 है ना z2, so 3 cancel हुआ, 2 1s 2 2s, so Vn2 कितना हो गया, it is equals to 2x. So the velocity in 3rd orbit, the velocity of the electron in 3rd orbit of Li2 positive is 2x. आया समझ में ये? ऐसा ही क्वेश्चंस मिलेगा. They will be giving you the velocity or the radius of a specific orbit in one specific element. They will be asking you to find the velocity or the radius in another atom or in another element in any other orbit. आया समझ में ये वाला बात? Is the question clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, if you are having any doubt, please ask me.
Sir, can you repeat?
Okay. देखो, proportionality का यूज करना आना चाहिए आप लोग को. Vn is proportional to z upon n, मतलब Vn is equals to some k times z upon n होगा. Similarly, Vn2 will be also equals to k times z2 upon n2 होगा. If you are dividing both of them, k cancel होगा. So इसलिए डायरेक्टली हम लिखते हैं Vn1 upon Vn2 is equals to z1 upon n1 upon z2 upon n2, which is z1 upon n1 into n2 upon z2. So अभी के लिए इस क्वेश्चन में z1 मैं मान रहा हूँ हीलियम का, z2 मैं मान रहा हूँ लिथियम का. ओके, n1 सो हीलियम का हो गया तो n1 क्या हो जाएगा, 4 दिया है, उसमें वेलोसिटी भी दिया है हमको x. अभी n2 is 3, उसमें वेलोसिटी फाइंड करना है. So we are substituting the values. Vn1 which is x upon Vn2 is equals to z1 upon n1. Z for helium is 2 upon n1 is 4 into n2 upon z2. n2 is 3, z2 is also 3.
सर आपने वो Z12 किस लिया?
Z12 इसलिए लिया क्योंकि हीलियम एटम है ना, हीलियम के लिए Z कितना है 2 है, लिथियम के लिए Z कितना है 3 है. एटॉमिक नंबर, Z is the atomic number.
यस सर.
Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, next expression हमारे पास Rn क्या है, Rn is n square h square upon 4 pi square z m e square k. Or else I can write this as Rn is equals to h square upon 4 pi square m e square k times n square upon z. Again, if you substitute the value of h as 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second, m as 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg, e as 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. उसके अलावा k is 9 into 10 power 9 ना, 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. If you are substituting all these things, you will get Rn as 0.529 angstroms में 0.529 angstroms times n square upon z. 0.529 angstroms times n square upon z. Or else if I ask you the question, what is the radius of third orbit in Li2 positive ion? What is the radius of third orbit in Li2 positive ion? तब क्या हो जाएगा? They are asking R3 value.
3 into Rn.
ठीक है, so substitute करो. R3 is equals to 0.529 angstroms times n is 3 na, so 3 square upon z is also 3. So this is 0.529 angstroms into 3. कितना होगा इसका? 0.529 into 3 1.587 angstroms. Okay, so you need to remember, ये important है, you need to remember these constants. 2.165 or 2.18 into 10 power 6 z upon n. This is 0.529 into n square upon z angstroms. Angstroms में आएगा ये. Next question. If the radius of fifth orbit in helium positive is, again I'm giving you some x angstroms. Find the radius of second orbit in hydrogen atom. Find the radius of second orbit in hydrogen atom. बताओ. ये संडे को न्यू बैच के लिए भी टेस्ट रख ही लेते हैं. आई विल मेक यू प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस इन सैटरडेज लेक्चर, डोंट वरी. न्यू बैच के लिए भी टेस्ट रखते हैं. इफ यू आर worried, we can solve more and more question in Saturday's lecture. New batch, don't worry. संडे को आप लोग के लिए भी टेस्ट रहेगा। आंसर सेम वेलोसिटी में जैसे किया है वैसा ही करना है एग्जैक्टली। या 8/25x इससे वो जो डॉट 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 8/25x देखो हमको क्या पता है रेडियस का, द रेडियस Rn is proportional to n square upon z। इसका मतलब क्या होगा, Rn1 upon radius of some n2 will be equal to n1 square upon z1 divided by n2 square upon z2, or it is Rn1 upon Rn2 equals to n1 square upon z1 into z2 upon n2 square। ओके अगेन हीलियम पॉजिटिव है, जिनके लिए z होगा z इक्वल्स टू 2, सो इसको z1 मान लेते हैं। ओके z1 इक्वल्स टू 2 हो गया, और उसमें ऑर्बिट n1 कितना हो गया, 5th ऑर्बिट, एंड उसका रेडियस दिया है, सो r n1 और n1 5th ऑर्बिट हो गया ना, r5 कितना दिया, रेडियस ऑफ 5th ऑर्बिट ना, इट इज x। दे आर आस्किंग फॉर हाइड्रोजन एटम जिनके लिए z इक्वल्स टू 1 है, सो इसको z2 मान लेते हैं। सो n2 कितना दिया हमें, 2nd ऑर्बिट ना 2, सो r2 फाइंड करने के लिए क्वेश्चन है, you need to get the value of r2 in terms of x। again rn1 r5 upon rn2 is r2 is equals to n1 square 5 square upon z1 2 into z2 is 1 upon n2 square, n2 is 2 square, कितना हो गया ये 2 square 4 4 2 sir 8, r5 is given as x upon r2 is equals to 25 upon 8, so r2 is equals to 8x upon 25। बहुत लोग ने सही किया, r2 is 8x upon 25। most of you people have answered it 8/25x और 8x upon 25 ऐसा कुछ करना बेटर होगा ना, 8x upon 25। yeah good so can you do questions based on this particular model? यही आता है, you need to know the proportionality for radius and you need to know the proportionality for velocity. If you know that, you can get any question। okay next chocolate question है, ये जो फ्रीक्वेंसी रहेगा, फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ रिवॉल्यूशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन, frequency of revolution of electron is proportional to what or time period? time period of electron का proportionality क्या होगा? रेडियस का proportionality हमें पता है, velocity का proportionality पता है। You need to tell me the frequency of revolution of electron will be proportional to, like ये दोनों z upon n और n square upon z ना, वैसा frequency of electron proportional to what or time period of electron is proportional to what? frequency is equals to 1 upon time period ना, so एक आ गया तो दूसरा आ जाएगा। please try to calculate this। first of all understand what is meant by frequency of electron or what is meant by time period of electron। ये आ गया तो हो जाएगा सब कुछ। I'm giving you 2 minutes of time. Please think on this. I will discuss. Q upon Z square. सारे सब्जेक्ट्स के टेस्ट रहेगा, मैथ्स, फिजिक्स एंड केमिस्ट्री सारे. Frequency directly proportional to Z square upon N square. Okay. And cube upon Z square. First, let us understand what is meant by time period of electron. एक जो electron है, it is revolving around the nucleus. Okay. What is the time period of Earth? What is the time period of Earth?
24 hours.
24 hours. वो rotation के लिए time period मतलब the time taken to complete one
365
full revolution around the sun.
365 days.
It is
365
days.
360.
It is 365 days. Okay. Similarly, what will be the time period of electron? इसका मतलब क्या होगा? It is the time taken to complete one full revolution around the nucleus. Okay. हमारा basic formulas तो कभी भूलना नहीं चाहिए. Speed is equals to distance upon timer. So if you want to find the time period, it is distance upon speed. One time period के लिए वो कितना distance travel कर रहे हैं? It is nothing but circumference का distance, which is 2 pi r and the velocity of v. So ये जो time period जो भी है, time period is equals to 2 pi r n upon v n. ये जो 2 pi constant ही है ना, so time period will be proportional to Rn upon Vn. We already know the proportionality for Rn. Rn is proportional to
N cube by Z
n square upon Z divided by
Z.
और जो velocity है,
N
it is
by Z.
proportional to Z upon n.
हाँ
तो ये क्या हो गया अब? Time period will be proportional to n cube upon Z square. So this will be the answer. Time period of revolution of electron is proportional to n cube upon Z square. अगर time period n cube upon Z square है तो frequency. Don't use the symbol nu for this because nu is used for the frequency of electromagnetic radiations. वो ये भी nu करके किया तो वो और ये वो दूसरा frequency है, ये दूसरा frequency है. Okay. So in this case frequency will be proportional to
Z square
upon n cube. Clear है? Question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. ठीक है. Now let us
Please
go
can
to
you explain again?
Yeah.
From T directly proportional.
T directly proportional to अभी ये जो particular formula है, इस particular formula में 2 pi जो है constant ही है. If you are removing the constant, you need to use the proportionality symbol. So time period is proportional to Rn upon Vn. Already हमने ये derive कर चुका है. Radius जो है, it is proportional to n square upon Z. Radius is proportional to बाकी सब constants है ना?
Yes, sir.
N square upon Z, and the velocity is proportional to Z upon n. Vn is proportional to Z upon n. So वही substitute किया मैं इधर. रेडियस के प्लेस में n square upon z सब्स्टिट्यूट किया, वेलोसिटी के प्लेस में z upon n सब्स्टिट्यूट किया. So overall we got time period proportional to n cube upon z square. Frequency और time period के बीच में relation, frequency is equals to 1 upon time period. So frequency will be proportional to z square upon n cube.
Sir,
Okay.
understood. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So now let us try to get the energy of the electron. हमने अब तक velocity of the electron derive किया और radius of the electron
Radius.
derive किया. We need to now derive the total energy of an electron. The total energy of an electron whenever it is in the orbit, in a specific orbit. Total energy of electron. अब सब लोग को ये तो पता होगा, the total energy is nothing but sum of kinetic energy plus the potential energy. Okay, total energy is kinetic energy plus potential energy. ये जो kinetic energy है, this is the energy of motion. Because of the motion of the particle, whatever energy is stored inside it is called as kinetic energy. ये जो potential energy है, this is called as energy of interaction. Energy of interaction. Okay. Energy of interaction का मतलब क्या है? ये जो positive charge, it is interacting with the negative charge. Because of that particular interaction, there is an energy stored inside that particular system. अभी ये जो earth और any object, if they are both of them are interacting, the potential energy stored in that particular object is given by mgh. आप लोग पढ़ा होगा. That is because of the virtue of its position, and उस particular position के वजह से it is interacting with the earth's gravitational field. As a result, it is attaining that mgh energy. Suppose if you are taking the same object to space, तब तो height और बड़ा हो गया ना, तब energy mg और ज़्यादा होना चाहिए. But we say the potential energy in space for any object is zero. It is zero because it is not interacting with Earth anymore. Earth's gravitational field के अंदर वो object लही नहीं कर रहे. Hence the potential energy in that case will become zero. So the energy of interaction is called as potential energy, and the energy of motion is called as kinetic energy. Kinetic energy के लिए आप सब लोग को फॉर्मूला पहले से ही पता होगा.
Of mv square.
Okay. Excuse me.
हाफ एम वी स्क्वायर.
काइनेटिक एनर्जी के लिए फॉर्मूला है हाफ एम वी स्क्वायर. पोटेंशियल एनर्जी के लिए फॉर्मूला, ये फॉर्मूला आप इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक्स में, आप फिजिक्स में पढ़ेंगे, बट प्लीज रिमेंबर द फॉर्मूला. जस्ट लाइक फोर्स के लिए फॉर्मूला क्या लिखा हमने, k q1 q2 अपॉन r स्क्वायर लिखा है ना, वैसा ही पोटेंशियल एनर्जी के लिए फॉर्मूला k q1 q2 upon r. Okay, it is not r square, it is k q1 q2 upon r. So if I am substituting the values क्या है, velocity का, what is the expression for velocity? Already हमने जो derive किया, it is 2 pi k z square upon
2 pi
nh.
z square by h.
Okay, so वही put करते हैं 2 pi k z square upon nh. Substitute v as this and substitute r as n square h square upon 4 pi square z m e square k, and substitute q1 as charge of electron is minus e. Now you need to substitute along with units. उस पर्टिकुलर केस में we are just equating the forces, inward force, outward force, दोनों को equate करके कुछ derive किया. Now you are calculating energy. Energy के केस में you need to substitute along with signs. Q2 is plus ZE. So वही substitute करते हैं. Please everyone focus. If I am doing any calculation mistake, please let me know. Half m into velocity is 2 pi k z e square upon nh whole square plus k q1 is minus e, q2 is plus ze upon R is n square h square upon 4 pi square z m e square k. ओके, सॉल्व करते हैं इसको. दिस इज इक्वल टू हाफ m इंटू होल स्क्वायर किया तो दिस विल बी 4 pi square k square z square e power 4 divided by n square h square. इसको साइड पे रखते हैं. ये एक पूरा काइनेटिक एनर्जी का पार्ट प्लस k ऊपर गया तो अगेन इट विल बिकम k स्क्वायर. ओके, ऊपर e स्क्वायर है, नीचे e स्क्वायर है, सो इट विल बिकम e पावर 4. ऊपर z नीचे z, इट विल बी z स्क्वायर. बचा हुआ इट विल बी 4 pi स्क्वायर m upon n square h square along with the negative sign. Negative भी है ना, please don't forget this negative sign. क्लियर है यहाँ तक? इन दोनों में एक बार फिर से रीअरेंज करके, प्रॉपर रीअरेंज करके लिखते हैं.
Yes, sir.
This is 4 pi square
Yes, sir.
k square e power 4 m upon 2h square into इधर ऊपर z स्क्वायर है, नीचे n स्क्वायर है, 2n स्क्वायर h स्क्वायर. Is this correct? Okay.
Yes, sir.
प्लस इसको भी उसी के टर्म्स में लिखते हैं. पहले 4 के साथ स्टार्ट करते हैं. दिस इज आल्सो 4 pi स्क्वायर, then you have k square, then you have e power 4, then you have m, then you have z square upon n square h square. Okay, can I say this particular part which you have calculated, this is of kinetic energy, and
The
this particular
negative.
part which you have calculated, this is of potential energy. Okay, ये वाला हाँ सॉरी नेगेटिव साइन भी है, नेगेटिव भी है. इफ यू आर डूइंग माइनस, सब कुछ सेम है ना, वो हाफ है, दिस इज हाफ एंड दिस इज minus 4 pi square k square e power 4 m z square upon n square h square.
1.
Okay, this is half minus 1, minus half होगा.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can I write this as minus half times minus half times 4
K square.
pi square k square e power 4 m z square upon
N square h square.
n square h square. किसी को कुछ दिक्कत इसमें? दिस इज नथिंग बट टोटल एनर्जी. ये वाला एक्सप्रेशन जो भी आया है, दिस इज नथिंग बट टोटल एनर्जी. नो नीड टू रिमेम्बर द एक्सप्रेशन एट ऑल. वी आर जस्ट डिराइविंग इट एंड उससे कुछ कंक्लूजन्स निकाल के वी विल बी अंडरस्टैंडिंग देम. Everyone, is this expression clear?
Yes.
Once
Yes,
observe
sir.
once observe the expression of kinetic energy and total energy. Everything is same except for the negative sign. Compare kinetic energy expression, ये वाला, ये kinetic energy का expression हुआ, ये total energy का expression हुआ. Compare these two. If you can observe, everything is the same except for the negative sign. इधर negative है, इधर नहीं है.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can I say total energy? अभी मैं एक relation लिख रहा हूँ. The total energy is nothing but minus of the kinetic energy. लिख सकता हूँ इन दोनों को कंपेयर करके. Similarly, potential energy और total energy को कंपेयर करो. Everything is same except for that half.
Twice.
Right?
2 times.
Can I say total energy is equals to potential energy upon 2, or else it is 2 times total energy is potential energy.
2 times.
सर इसके रिलेटेड कुछ एग्जाम को आता है?
इसके related exam को definitely आएगा. They will be giving you the total energy as x and they will ask you what is the kinetic energy. You just need to substitute, tell the answer as minus x. And they will give you the potential energy some y. They will ask you what is the total energy. It is y upon 2. You need to remember this general relation. ये very important है. This is valid even for any system, any circular system. If planets are revolving around the sun, I can say the total energy of Earth is minus its kinetic energy. 2 times its total energy is equals to potential energy. This is valid for any circular system. Okay. So please remember this as the final expression. This point to remember. बार ये derive नहीं करेंगे, derive करके check नहीं करेंगे. You need to know total energy is minus kinetic energy, and you need to know 2 times total energy is potential energy. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. और एक बात, what is the expression we got for total energy? Please remember these things. Okay. What is the expression for total energy we got? Total energy equal to minus 4
pi minus 2 pi square.
Okay, 2 से करके कर सकते हो. ठीक है. I am writing that as minus 2 pi square k square e power 4
E4
upon
z square n square h square.
ये जो h square इनको separate लिख के I am writing this as z square upon n square.
n square.
Okay. So ये वाला ब्रैकेट में आप लोग को जो भी लिखा मैंने, all these are constants. 2 is a constant, pi is a constant, k जो है 9 into 10 power 10 वो भी एक constant है, e is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, m is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31, h is 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34. If you are substituting all these values, or before substituting, I can say from this the total energy is proportional to z square upon n square. Can I say that? और proportion constant को हटा दिया, or else the total energy is, वो substitute किया था आप लोग का आता है minus 13.6, and this is in terms of electron volts into
ev
z square upon n square.
z square by n square.
Okay, the units are electron volts. 1 electron volt already आप लोग को दिया है. It is 1.6 into
1.602
minus 19 joules.
minus 19.
1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19, or simply 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joules. Okay. So if you want to show the answer in terms of joules, just simply multiply the 13.6 with 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Is this clear?
Minus
everyone?
2.179 into 10
Yeah,
power
yeah.
minus
27 point something चलेगा, वो सब बाद में. So you can simply leave that as minus 13.6 times z square upon n square electron volts. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
yes sir.
ठीक है. I hope यहाँ तक हमने जो भी किया है सब लोग को clear है. Again, I can also write as energy is proportional to z square upon n square. I can use this relation. This implies energy को even माना तो En1 upon En2 will be equal to Z1 square upon N1 square into N2 square upon Z2 square. So if they are giving you energy in one orbit in one particular element, you can find the energy in another orbit in any other given element. Right? Just like अभी velocity और radius के लिए 2 questions किया ना, similar question will be given in this as well.
Sir,
Is this clear?
yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
sir.
आप सब लोग के लिए एक क्वेश्चन है. This is
Hello,
homework
sir.
question. एक minute. Let me give you the homework question. why is the energy of the electron negative? You need to tell me in tomorrow's lecture. Why is the energy of electron negative, or how to interpret negative energy? ये क्वेश्चन है. Why is the energy of the electron negative, or how to interpret the negative energy? होमवर्क है, अभी बताने की जरूरत नहीं. घर में do some research. You can use the help of Google. Try to understand and tell me your explanation in tomorrow's lecture. Okay, yeah, question. Someone is having some question. Tell me.
Sir, yes. Sir, वो derivation important है.
डेरिवेशन कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, बट डेरिवेशन में कुछ ज्यादा है ही नहीं. डेरिवेशन इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, बट यू नीड टू नो दिस थिंग्स. यू आर गोइंग टू बिकम वेरी गुड इंजीनियर ना. ये चीजें अंडरस्टैंड करना इम्पोर्टेंट है.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are simply substituting the formula for velocity, formula
Yes,
for
sir.
r, which we have
Different formulas we are
हाँ.
substituting.
बस सब्स्टिट्यूट करके मैथमेटिक्स का कैलकुलेशन कर रहे हैं, ज्यादा कुछ नहीं. बस बहुत ज्यादा टर्म्स होने की वजह से आप लोग को क्लमजी लग रहा होगा, बट देयर इज नथिंग इन दिस. ओके, एंड वी
सर ये
आर
फॉर्मूला का यूज करने को आएगा?
फॉर्मूला कहीं पे यूज करने के लिए नहीं आएगा, डायरेक्टली आप लोग को ये रिलेशन यूज करने के लिए आएगा. नो नीड टू रिमेंबर एनी ऑफ दिस. यू कैन सिंपली रिमेंबर दिस, क्योंकि ये कांस्टेंट्स कभी भी वो कांस्टेंट वही रहेगा ना.
हाँ.
Unless and until I'm changing the values of k, h, these are constants which are published in the books. Okay, these values can never change no matter what. Okay, so वो जो values substitute करके 13.6 ही रहेगा हमेशा. तो ये याद रखने के अलावा ये याद रख लेना. और else final conclusions क्या है, ये क्वेश्चन आप लोग घर में सोचना. फाइनल कंक्लूजन, रेडियस जो है rn, यू कैन सिंपली रिमेंबर, ये फॉर्मूला याद रखना सभी लोग. 0.529 टाइम्स n square upon z in terms of angstroms. Or I can say rn is proportional to n square upon z. Similarly vn जो है, it is 2.165 or 18 into 10 power 6 times z upon n. Okay, times z upon n meter per second. Or I can simply use Vn is proportional to z upon n. Energy En is equals to minus 13.6 times, minus there. Remember, you have a negative sign there. Minus 13.6 times z square upon n square, and this is in terms of electron volts. Or I can say En is proportional to z square upon n square. अब तक जो भी बोर्स थ्योरी में पढ़ा है हमने, बस इतना ही है. If you simply remember these things and if you know the application of these things, okay, if you know the application of these things, that is sufficient. ये फॉर्मूला ओके, ठीक है. सॉरी, समझ में आ रहा है सब लोग को? एप्लीकेशन मतलब क्या होगा? They will ask you, they will give you the energy of the electron in one orbit, in one element. They will ask you what will be the energy of the electron in another element, in another orbit. Is this clear?
sir.
ओके एक सिंपल क्वेश्चन दे देता हूँ आप लोग को। क्वेश्चन के अलावा लेट अस टेक हाइड्रोजन एटम। हाइड्रोजन एटम में टेल मी द वैल्यूज ऑफ you need to tell me V1, V2, V3, R1, R2, R3, E1, E2, E3 मतलब velocity of the electron in first orbit of hydrogen atom, in second orbit, in third orbit. Similarly, radius of first orbit, radius of second orbit, radius of third orbit, energy of the electron in first orbit, second orbit, and third orbit. All of them are for hydrogen atom. बताना सॉल्व करके। और else V1, V2, V3 का वैल्यूज R1, R2, R3, E1, E2 एंड V3। फॉर्मूला सुपर है आप लोग के लिए। फॉर्मूला इज 2.165 into 10
Sir, got.
times that
Sir, got.
हो गया। V1 क्या होगा? V1 is
2.165 into 10 power 6.
2.165 into 10 power 6.
10 power 6 meter per second.
to 10 meter per second.
Yeah, exactly. V2 क्या होगा? It will be divided by 2.
0.08
Divided by 2 मतलब 1.08
0.25
into 10 power 6.
1.0825
25
into
into 10 power
10
6.
power 6
25.
meter per
6.
second.
Okay, I can almost say it is 1 into 10 power 6. Okay, V3 is
0.721
into 10 power 6.
0.721 something into 10
10 power
power
6.
6
10 power
meter
6.
per second. Okay, radius क्या हो गया? R1 is
0.529
0.529
angstrom.
angstrom. Okay, R2 का वैल्यू बताना
2.116.
0.11
और I'm writing this as 2.12 angstrom. R3
1.584 Armstrong.
1.5 उससे ज्यादा आएगा ना R3?
Yes, sir.
4.7
Yeah, it is
7. कुछ
0.529 into 9. 0.529 into 9 is 4.7
61
4.76 एंगस्ट्रॉम्स। एक बात ये भी ऑब्जर्व करना, ठीक है बाद में देखते हैं। E1 क्या आया?
minus
Minus
13.6
13.6 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट। E2 is
minus 3.4
minus 3 point
E3 is
minus
1.51
1.51
इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट। ओके ठीक है, सही है ये वाला बात।
Yes, sir.
Okay. So similarly, if I ask you to calculate in helium positive, lithium 2 positive, किसी में भी calculate कर सकते हो? Simple formula
Yes, sir.
application.
Yes,
yes
sir.
sir
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I hope this is clear to everyone. If you want, you can take 5 minutes of break. After 5 minutes break, we can again start the lecture.
वोटिंग ले लो सर।
So हमने excitation और de-excitation के बारे में discuss किया है ना। Let us see how to do calculations involving excitation and de-excitation. Okay. Excitation and de-excitation of electron. Excitation, de-excitation of electron. So if you have a electron in one orbit, suppose मान लेते हैं that particular electron is present in some n1 orbit. Okay, that n1 need not be a one, कहीं पे भी हो n1 and it is going to n2 orbit. Electron यहाँ पे है, it is present in n1. Now it is going to n2 orbit. If I want to take the electron into the next level, n2 level, you need to incident a photon on it. Okay, you need to incident a packet of energy. On absorbing that particular packet of energy, that electron will be transferring into this particular level n2. So initially, if you want to do the analysis, initially if the energy of the electron is En1, now it is absorbing a packet of energy, some X amount of energy, and it is having or achieving a final energy of En2. So what is the energy which you need to incident on the electron? X will be equal to, what is X? X is the energy of photon incident on electron to excite it from n1 level to n2 level. X क्या होगा? X will be equal to En2 minus En1. X will be equal to En2 minus En1. So I can write X is equals to, what is En2? Energy के लिए formula क्या है? En is equals to minus 13.6 times Z square upon N square. ये जो 13.6 है, it is also इधर लिख रहा हूँ मैं. ये जो 13.6 है, it can also be represented as minus RH times Z square upon N square. Minus RH times Z square upon N square, where RH is called as Rydberg constant for hydrogen atom. नाम है उसका Rydberg constant for hydrogen atom. सब एटम्स के लिए वही RH यूज करेंगे, बट उसका नाम इट इज डिफाइंड एज Rydberg constant for hydrogen atom. क्योंकि per hydrogen atom for first orbit the energy will be equal to RH. If you take Z equals to 1, N equals to 1, then the energy is all equal to RH. Okay, so rather than substituting minus 13.6, you can also substitute minus RH times Z square upon N square. So what is the X that is required? X will be equal to minus RH into Z square upon N2 square. I am exciting the electron in the same element. So Z will remain same. Minus of दो minus है. Minus RH Z square upon N1 square. Right? Everyone there in the lecture?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So इसको substitute किया तो हो गया last 2 minutes.
हेलो
Minus RH Z square upon
हेलो
N2 square हो जाएगा. Minus of minus positive हो जाएगा.
हेलो
Plus RH times Z square upon N1 square हो जाएगा. So if you are taking
हेलो हेलो
RH and Z square common, it will be 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. So the energy of photon which you need to input is RH Z square into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. अभी ये जो photon है, photon के लिए energy का formula क्या है? The energy of photon is given by formula
H nu.
H nu. So I can also equate this to h nu is equals to RH z square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So if they're asking you what is the frequency of the photon that should be incident in order to take the electron from n1 to n2. So equate h nu is equals to so and so, you can get the value of nu. If they're asking you what is the wavelength, once you calculate the frequency, you can calculate the wavelength using the formula E is equals
hc by
to
lambda.
hc by lambda, which is equals to h nu, or c is equals to nu lambda, huh?
By lambda.
or lambda is equals to c upon nu. और इसी में डायरेक्टली आप फॉर्मूला सब्स्टिट्यूट कर सकते हो. hc upon lambda is equals to RH z square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. आया समझ में आप लोग को?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you want to excite an electron from one orbit to another orbit, you need to incident energy. Okay, that is called as excitation. The energy will always be provided in the form of photon. The energy of the photon is given by h nu. Suppose मान लेते हैं x amount of energy देना है, तो already उसका energy En1 है, उसको x provide करने के बाद it is converting into En2. Okay, so that En2 minus En1 will become x. वही सब्स्टिट्यूट किया, finally the formula is RH z square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square.
Yes, sir.
I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, यहाँ तक करते हैं. I will post some questions today. Please go through those questions. We will be discussing the same questions in tomorrow's lecture.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you everyone. Thank you for your
सर और
patience.
कितना है इस लेसन में?